Player's Progress. A golfer's journey to wisdom starts right here on the first tee at Royal Dornick Golf Club. This is the caddy shack and the starter's hut right behind us here. And Lucas Friend has brought his good friend, Paul Pro V Player, to Dornick in hopes that it will change his life. They have no idea that they're on their way to the greatest golf course in the world. They're hoping to make the cut in the Carnegie Shield. The story starts right here on the first tee at Royal Dornick. So Lucas and Pro V, their journey starts with failure. They both miss the cut at the Carnegie Shield. They find their way back to the Dornick Castle Hotel Bar, well known as the greatest whiskey bar in the world, trying to drink away their troubles. Lucas thinks he can find the greatest golf course in the world. He's hoping to take his friend Pro V, but first they've got to make their way back to the Dornick Cathedral, where a voice will speak. So when Lucas gets to the Dornick Cathedral, beautiful church built in the 1300s originally, he finds this beautiful window that says, "Let the fields be joyful and all that is therein," Psalm 96, which led to his poem, which was about looking up, looking out, looking down, and looking in the beauty of links golf. The centerpiece of Dornick is not really the golf course, as great as it is, but is this cathedral built in the 1300s, burnt to the ground, rebuilt in the 1500s, and has been used for services ever since. Lucas brings his friend Pro V here, hoping that his friend will hear the voice that he had heard 12 years before. The voice was, "There's a wisdom in the sand. There's a treasure in the darkness." And when he heard that voice, Pro V leaped around really to see who might be behind him. He saw no one. Lucas just advised him, relax, calm down, just be quiet. Sure enough, the voice comes again.
There's a wisdom in the sand, a treasure in the darkness.
Lucas knew that his friend Pro V was hearing the voice of the Holy Spirit. Their journey to Hokmah, to wisdom, really began right here in this cathedral. I hope you'll join us on this journey. Early in the morning, they headed off up the A9, which I'm on right now, to Scrapster, catching the ferry for Stromness. Lucas was concerned because he wasn't even sure he could find Hokmah. It was 12 years ago, and he was just a passenger then and not sure exactly where it might be, but they were on the journey, looking for wisdom and looking for a treasure. We have arrived in Stromness, which when you read about it, you think might be a bustling city, but it's just barely even a town. We're looking for the Stromness Golf Club. In front of us is the Stromness Hotel, which, I don't know. I'm not sure you'd want to stay there. As you can see here, this is actually a street. And there's got to be, 50 people just walking along. They don't even know cars are allowed here. And who knows, maybe they're not. So Lucas is hoping he can find Hokmah Golf Club, but nobody on the main island could help him. Alexander Skeptic, the golf pro, didn't help any. He'd never heard of Hokmah and was quite sure it doesn't exist.
Are you guys going to play?
We're not. We're actually looking for another course called Hokmah Golf Club. Have you ever heard of Hokmah? Hokmah, H-O-K-M-A-H. No. They simply cannot find anybody that will help them locate the Hokmah Golf Club. Nobody's heard of it. Skeptic was no help. Mrs. Dowler was no help. But he heard a voice telling him to go to the narrow way. And sure enough, he found the narrow way. John the Baptist was pointing in the right direction. And we find Lucas here on this extremely narrow way. I'm sitting here near Yahweh's Gate. The gatekeeper goes in and out of this small door here. This is where the adventure really began for Lucas and Pro V. They had to get through Yahweh's gate. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, is what the sign said over the top of the gate. So wisdom is acquired by listening, not by talking. And Pro V and Lucas had to learn this lesson as they're trying to make their way to Hopeman Golf Club on the listening ferry. They learned their lesson well and finally made it to Hopeman Golf Club.